everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of BrainWatched. I am your host, Overseer, and joining me as always is J Chippers.
Hello.
And Wildcard.
Where am I?
You're on a podcast.
Who are you people?
Let's ignore that, it's just his crazy medication that I give him. So first things first, a very, very, very late Happy New Year to everybody listening.
Hey, it's the Lunar New Year, it's the Chinese New Year.
Yeah,
okay?
we're still in a good time.
Oh, good. Happy New Year, everybody. So a lot of news has happened so far, just in January alone, and we're going to be talking about that stuff. But to start us off, we are going to be talking about something that happened last year, or rather a film that came out last year, because we can't not talk about this movie. It's the biggest movie we've seen in years. You know, just judging by the box office numbers. We're doing a review. We are going to be reviewing Spider-Man No Way Home. The newest Marvel movie. The Marvel movie that had everybody super duper hyped before it came out. And it's made... It's now, like, I'm pretty sure the 4th highest grossing movie of all time. Yeah, so
wow.
Everybody's seen it now. There's going to be spoilers, but at this point, not only has everybody seen it, but nobody's even being, like, cautious with the spoilers anymore. There's spoilers all over. Anyway, before I give my thoughts, as the host, I always make sure to ask first, what did you guys think?
Well, the Spider-Man shoots his web, and if he's not getting home by this point, he needs to take a bus.
To be honest, I wasn't too impressed. I mean, the video quality went way down. They brought in weird actors. I mean, it's just not the Spider-Man I'm used to seeing at all. I mean, I don't know why they decided to feature Elsa, but
What?
It was just...
Wildcard? I think you might have watched the wrong movie.
What? No! Ah, dang it.
Did you watch it?
This is what I get for trying to pirate it, damn it.
Yeah, I was about to say, Wildcard, did you just click a YouTube link that told you?
Well, when they started spanking each other, I thought, man, I don't remember this at all.
Alright, this was our way of saying that Wildcard has not seen it, but he doesn't give a shit about spoilers. Zay, what did you think of it?
Okay, Chip, you didn't answer my question, but well, thank you for asking me. Okay, this is complicated because I kind of ruined the movie for myself before I even walked in, which was entirely my fault. So what happened was, I have not personally been excited for any Marvel project that has come out recently. I have not really looked forward or been interested in any Marvel movie or been hyped for one since Endgame. And I didn't even like Endgame.
Same.
Hold up.
I'm sorry. Today's not the day for this, but yes.
You didn't like Endgame at all?
Not at all. I don't like it overall. It's just, it has too many...
It's overrated.
Too much of it just doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway. So I was not... with being that I wasn't interested in any Marvel movies that were coming out, any of the TV shows or anything, I didn't think I was going to see this movie. So what I did was like, well, I'm not going to watch the movie anyway. So what I did was when the trailers first came out, I watched all the trailer breakdowns, all the analyses of the trailers, all the trailers' reactions, all of those YouTube videos, and like, it wasn't until the movie finally was coming close to coming out, and it finally got to me. I was just like, God damn it, the trailers have been really fucking cool, and it looks really good and exciting, and damn it, I want to see this movie. I want to see this movie now. And when I went to go see this movie, let me be a cautionary tale for everybody listening. Do not watch trailer breakdown / analysis videos of comic book movies, because these fucking nerds got everything right. And I'm not just talking broad strokes of the plot. I'm talking about every single big thing that happened in this movie, they predicted. Green Goblin killing Aunt May? Yep. Andrew Garfield saying MJ from falling? Yep. Spider-Man using his nano suit to control Doc Ock's tentacles, and that's how he wins the fight? Yep. They predicted all of that. So I watched this movie without even realizing that I had been spoiled, completely spoiled. So I know for a fact, 100%, if I had gone into this movie completely blind, I would have had so much fun with this movie. I would have walked out of this movie just jumping up and down in excitement. I would have had a great time. But instead, I just spent the whole movie with my head to one side, my hand in my cheek, just going, ugh.
That's what happens, man. Now, on my side of things, I went into this. Now, because this is No Way Home, it's connected to the ones that in the trilogy of Homecoming and Far From Home. I never saw those two movies. However,
hey, me neither.
I watched reviews and breakdowns of them to get an understanding about them. Just because, like, I don't know. I think what burned me on Spider-Man post Raimi films was The Amazing Spider-Man. Nothing against Andrew Garfield, because in this movie, he is amazing. He is the Amazing Spider-Man in this movie.
I was going to bring that up during the review. I'm just like, oh my god, this movie made me realize Andrew Garfield's an amazing actor.
He is. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing Spider-Man.
He's an amazing Spider-Man.
But, like, it's just, those movies were so fucking bad. His movies were so fucking bad doing Spider-Man up until this point.
What about our Spider-Boy, Tom Holland?
Tom Holland, he did so good.
He genuinely is a great Spider-Man and a great actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to fucking start this whole debate about, like, who's the best Spider-Man. They're all great. All three that showed up are great. Tom Holland is a great depiction of the anxious teen Spider-Man. He's he's a good Peter Parker.
And honestly, he's just too young to be called Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We just call him Spider-Boy.
Well, he was called Spider-Man because people didn't know who he was. And then people knew who he was.
You were talking about the previous Spider-Man movies. My experience with this will be really quick. My experience with them is that I don't remember much from the Tobey Maguire trilogy, the Sam Raimi trilogy, because I've watched them a couple times, but that was when I was a kid. I think we have the Spider-Man 2 DVD.
I remember everything from those movies because they are it's one of the best trilogies in all of cinema.
That's
all
what
I need
I've
to
heard.
remember is William Dafoe. That's all I need to remember.
We'll get to Willem Dafoe, because holy shit.
Dude. He just continues his legacy of playing crazy people.
Are you in or are you out?
I don't remember much from the Sam Raimi trilogy. I watched Amazing Spider-Man once. And I have not seen Amazing Spider-Man 2 yet.
I never really did see the Andrew Garfield ones. All I know is that our joke about Spider-Man characters reverse aging.
All I know from them is that we did get, like, the villains that don't get a lot of love. Like Electro and fucking Lizard.
Our Between the MILF and the GILF line came from that as bait. So that's all I need to remember from that.
In this last one, she became closer to what she was in Spider-Verse. She became a fucking badass.
An animated character?
She became animated? But she became, like, this knowledgeable...
Oh yeah, what about the Chris Pine Spider-Man from that universe?
Oh my god.
And the Nick Cage one and the...
Nick Cage!
Man, we are talking about every Spider-Man movie except the one we're reviewing.
Well, that's what happens when you delve into the fucking Spider-Verse, especially in live
We're
action.
talking about a universe, not a movie. A universe.
Okay. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire show up in this movie. It was like the worst kept secret in Hollywood history.
It was. It really was. And
we all knew.
And when they tried
to,
and when they tried to pull it off, like they're not showing up. They cut them out of the fucking footage that they would have been in, while also leaving the fact that like someone kicked Lizard in the fucking face. Someone that's not there kicked Lizard in the fucking face in the air.
It was that Union guy from the first Spider-Man movie
by a really strong gust of wind.
It's like, oh shit. Oh my god. But like that just makes it like really much more interesting going in. Like, how are they actually going to be presented in this film? I like the generation gap between the three Spider-Man because Tobey Maguire, it obviously comes off as like the experienced one. He comes off as like the much older one.
How old is he now anyway?
Oh my god, he's
45?
Like,
he's like in his 40s now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in his 40s. And according to him, he's still the Spider-Man. He's still doing it. But and he does go through some of the things that the Peter Parker and Spider-Verse goes through. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man being like the adult Peter Parker.
I hope they keep casting him as Spider-Man until every other line is, "Oh, my back!"
That's the thing. He's in his 40s and he's still pulling off all these fucking moves like it's nothing.
Wild card.
All right.
Wild card. How much of this movie spoilers have you heard about? Because they actually make a joke in the movie where Toby's like, "Ah, my back."
And then there's Andrew Garfield, who's literally just the bro Spider-Man. He's like so happy he's so happy to be there.
Andrew Garfield kind of stole the show whenever he was on screen.
And you know that line towards the end where he's like, "I love you guys." Like, that was actually off script. He was saying that to Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland, and it just caught them off guard.
That's so wholesome. I love it.
Dude, I love Andrew Garfield. He's so fucking wholesome. And I do like that they all went through they had this connection of grief with Uncle Ben. And it was so nice.
So the whole with great power comes great responsibility thing. Yeah. I want to say, when we hear Aunt May say it in the movie, I at first I thought it was kind of cringy. Where it's just like, to me, when she said it, it felt like such the movie going, we said the quote, But then later, when the other Spider-Man show up and they're just like, Uncle Ben said the same thing to me. And it was just like, oh, the quote being recognizable and being a famous quote, that was the point.
Yeah.
So basically the movie's saying like, oh, with great power comes great responsibility. That's like one of those like multiversal constants where like every Spider-Man...
And Aunt May dies in this one, right?
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you can't say that line unless you're like suicidal.
Unless you're dying, you can't say the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It's like that meme. I think I do remember seeing that meme where like they show someone saying that line and then it was SpongeBob and Patrick with the cough. It's like, all right, get in.
But also MJ, like they all had like this they all had their different versions of MJ. With Tom Holland's MJ being there, and they were talking about like how they've had their issues with their MJ, but also like had this connection with them that they had to protect them, and it was really nice.
Wait, which MJ from the original, the freaking Tom Holland ones? Not Tom Holland, sorry, the Tobey Maguire ones.
Tobey Maguire,
you know, because they recasted her after the first one, I think. If I remember right.
No, they didn't.
Or am I thinking different? Oh, I'm thinking Batman. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Anyway, so they go by MJ as in the initials, because every MJ in Spider-Man is different. you know, Sam Raimi.
I hope one of them says MJ, and there's like a choir of what? A chorus of them just responding.
Actually, they pulled off that joke where Tom Holland's friend was like, Peter. They're like, what?
Awesome.
They're like, no, that Peter, like.
I love the interaction all three of the different Spider-Mans have. Where like I love when they're talking about Venom, where Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland are all being like, yeah, I fought this alien from space. It was really weird. And Andrew Garfield's like, what the hell? I want to fight an alien. That sounds cool.
Also, and then Tom Holland finally said like, I was in the Avengers, and fucking Toby was like, the Avengers? That's amazing. What's the Avengers? Because it hasn't happened.
Band? Are you in a band?
That's awesome.
Because Tom Holland's is the only one that's connected to the MCU.
That's right. There was its own thing before that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if we're talking about, it's one of those things where like this movie makes me slightly nervous for the future of the MCU, because with this whole Tom Holland meeting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, I want this to be a one-time thing. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Like when Marvel eventually does their next big crossover Avengers movie, I don't want them to bring the other two Spider-Man back. I want this to be a one-time thing.
Like it's okay for the second Spider-Verse to do it, to reconnect the Spider-Man together. But in live action it just doesn't come across well. So for them to do it a one-time thing, that's the smartest move.
Yeah.
Like, they can obviously have connection, be like, I met this Spider-Man, but, like, they shouldn't, like, ever really interact again, you know? They should just have this experience that, like, I met this dude.
I don't know, it could be interesting, like, after Tom Holland, when they do the next generation of Spider-Man, to have him just slowly add to the pile of Spider-Man coming into a compilation movie. So eventually we get like Tobey Maguire in a wheelchair, he's just like 80 years old, and we'll have like 6 different Spider-Men on scene.
Oh my god. But speaking of that, like the new generation of Spider-Man, do you think that brings up the topic of, do you think they're gonna do a live action Miles or Gwen ever?
I don't know.
Because those are the two that people want movies for, animated or live action.
I mean, we've already had it animated. We really need it live action.
Yeah, but do you think they would ever do a live action Miles film?
I mean, I do know that in Homecoming, they had the after credit scene was like an Easter egg talking about Miles.
Yeah.
But I figured that's just what it was, an Easter egg.
Yeah.
And they I don't know if this is set up or an Easter egg. It's hard to tell with Marvel movies. But they have Electro saying to Andrew Garfield when he sees him, it's just like, man, I thought you were black. Well, there's gotta be a black Spider-Man somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's true. He did say that.
Oh my god.
God.
I mean, that's true. I'm still waiting for that Duck movie from End of the Guardian of the Galaxy.
Oh my god. How many... You just reminded me of that. God, how many Marvel stingers have led to nothing?
That would be so great, though.
We need to talk about the villains in this, because they did amazing, for one. 2, I at first I was like uneasy about like them straightforward going to like, you don't have to be evil, I can fix you, sort of route they were going for. Where they tried to like make this connection, like, how should we save these guys? Oh, I know, a serum. like that's just taking the easy route, dude.
No shit.
But it also does make sense, because like they're not even trying to like fully fix them from being villains. They're trying to send them back at the end of the day to their own universe.
I mean, is this serum anthrax? Because that could solve their villain problem.
It's Adderall. But at the end of the day, they're just trying to send them back home, like dead or not.
Well, no, because the whole conflict of Peter Parker is like, okay, this goes into what I wanted to talk about, where it's just like who I think the MVP of this movie is. Basically the one that, like, everybody did great in this movie, but the one who I think really stole the show and took this movie from good to great is Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Or Harry Osborn, right? Is that his name?
Oh, God. Yeah, how old is he now? I would think he was like in his 40s when he did.
Yeah.
He was like in his 40s when he did the Tobey Maguire one. He's like 50s or late 50s now.
Yeah. God damn.
That's amazing.
But man, this movie, it was such a good choice. Like, they have so many villains in this movie that it was such a good choice to have Green Goblin be basically like the main villain, the main threat, because it fits so perfectly. Not just because, like, you know, he's the most iconic of the Sam Raimi, you know, Spider-Man villains, maybe the most iconic of the Spider-Man villains in general, but like, in terms of like the themes and the message of this movie, nobody fit better than him because of that like dual split personality he's got going on, where the Green Goblin and Harry Osborn are two different entities. The Green Goblin is just a voice in his head that is forcing him to do all of this stuff. And you see that very clearly. Like, when that one scene where he's like stealing stuff and putting it in his bag, and the Green Goblin mask is just taunting him, and he takes a rock, screams, and smashes the mask. I love that scene because it set up that, like, when this guy inevitably betrays Peter Parker, he wasn't playing dumb the whole time. This isn't a betrayal because Harry Osborn, the man who is suffering and just wants to go home, is still in there. He's just under the control of the Green Goblin. It's not his fault. So, like, when he kills Aunt May, that really, like, first of all, that death scene, I loved it. It was really good. Really well done. But that, like, it had to be Green Goblin to be the one to do it, because at this point, Peter is just, like, so... He even says, like, I want to kill him. But we both Peter and the audience have seen just like at his lowest point, he's just like, I don't know where I am. Somebody's living in my house. I can't find my son. What is happening? And, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, Green Goblin was the perfect choice for the villain because, like, at the end of the day, this Green Goblin does so many horrible things, but Peter, because he is a good person and wants to see these guys go home and be redeemed and survive, he has to save Green Goblin. It's not a fact of, like, he has to save Harry Osborn. It's not a fact of, like, oh, he's just doing it because it's the right thing to do. No, Harry Osborn is a broken, horribly just, like, depressed man, and he needed Peter's help.
It was really good how they made it come out. Because he's not a bad dude. It's what he did that, like, how he made himself fucking, like, crazy person by doing experiments on himself.
Yeah. He's just a bad scientist.
Like, he made a mistake.
You're supposed to use lab rats for that, man. Come on.
But what?
Oh my God! What if you just saw a rat flying around on the glider one day because he accidentally turned a rat into a test subject into the Green Goblin?
Oh God! One got
green
out.
Rat.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next topic, we absolutely have to address the most important Spider-Man character. Where was J.J. Jameson in this?
Oh my God, he was in this, and
oh great.
but again, in this universe, in Tom Holland's universe, he's a broadcaster. He's a newsman, and he's a conspiracist too. Like,
no, I'm sorry to say, Wildcard, they did not bring in the two J. Jonah Jameson.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been so amazing. That would have been great.
Okay. You see, that's the thing. Okay, this is getting into, like, this movie has some dumb shit in it. Well, first of all, you say you wish they had brought over J. Jonah Jameson, but they establish in the movie that the rules are that the only people who are being brought over are the people who know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. That's what Doctor Strange says. That's the reason they're there. So, why the fuck is Electro here? He doesn't know.
That's right. He never got told in the Andrew Garfield films.
Nope. I mean, I get it. They needed a somebody from that movie to come over because they needed one villain from every Spider-Man movie, but still doesn't make sense.
It does have some plot holes in it, and also like where were the MJs that knew? where was the Aunt Mays that knew?
And like there are some people in the Spider-Man film. There's like I believe there are villains in the previous Spider-Man movies who know who Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and they're not brought over. But that's I can look past that. I can look past that. It's what needed to be done in order for the plot to work. I can move past it. But there are a lot of things where like I feel like one of my biggest problems is like the whole going to college thing. Where, like, I understand that, like, everybody knowing Peter's identity and now none of them can go to college. That's a big bummer. But I think when the movie started out, they made a big deal of just, like, no, Peter and his family might go to jail. Like, they think they think he murdered Mysterio. The first, like, 10 minutes of this movie are all about, like, dude, we could go to jail. But then they just stop that. They just drop it to be like, oh, no, we can't go to college. I'm like, I feel like the jail thing is more important.
Like, they spent so little actually focusing on, like, the Mysterio death and the consequences of it. Like, they kind of brush past it, to be honest. But... And they never really resolved it either. It's just weird.
Well, they did by like at the end of the movie when Spider-Man decides I want everybody's mind erased. Which even that I was confused about because like the reason he does that is because Doctor Strange like he can't close the portals that's like causing every single Spider-Man character ever in existence to start coming through, and Peter's just like, okay, erase everybody's memories so everyone doesn't know I'm Spider-Man. And somehow doing that saves the day. I'm just like, so wait, did all of those villains who were coming through, just like, did they all forget who Spider-Man was and then just leave?
Well, that's how I assume
how the magic
works. Is that like they left and they forgot, and Toby, and Tom Holland and ended up, losing his connections with his best friend and MJ in the process. And he had to regain interactions with them, that was a really
nice.
good note to like end the movie on. Is that like he's making this connections from a fresh start, which is nice. It's just there's quite a few plot holes in this movie, but overall I like it. I like this movie with what it does.
Me too.
I like the presentation of it.
Yeah.
And
okay. Like you can talk about plot holes and inconsistencies all day, but like at the end of the day, it's worth remembering that like we live in a world where Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland are all in a movie together.
And
what
comes of it
sweet.
is
it's like a start of a joke. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield walk into a bar.
What's funny is that like even without what we said, even with what we said earlier, that we don't want them to connect again in the Spider-Verse, that we don't want them to have another movie where they're all together. Andrew Garfield is really pulling for it, that he wants them all to have an interaction again, or at least have some sort of connection, because he's trying to get his next movie for Spider-Man made, which it seems they're going to be going into the Venom route.
Ooh.
I mean, good. I mean, like, this movie has taught me Andrew Garfield's a really good Spider-Man. So I'm just like, Sony, if you need a guy for your Venom / Mobius thing
because spoiler again, at the end credits, the post end credits scene is the literally the Venom from the Venom movies coming into the universe
and just disappearing as soon as he came. Where he's literally screaming as he disappears, like, no, we just got here, no!
But I think it's gonna be really interesting how they play him into it, because the Venom films, even though like Venom's not a good guy at all, he's not a good character. They at least make it a little bit sympathetic for the person that is infected by Venom, while also making Venom itself funny. It's just weird. But also, I want to know, why is Sandman in his sand form for most of the movie? Did you not notice that? He was not in his human form till the very end.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
But I really liked Sandman coming back, because he is a sympathetic character from the Sam Raimi films.
I have so much to say about this movie, and so much more I wanted to say, but
point is, Spider-Man 3 was not as bad as people put it out to be. Shut the fuck up.
Normalized dancing down the streets of New York.
Bully Maguire made the most sense, and people need to realize that.
I really thought you were going to say, bully anyone who says they aren't
good. Anyways.
Speaking of Marvel, Moon Knight. That's our next topic.
Yeah. Now, boys, what is your knowledge about Moon Knight, the character?
He can't sleep. He has a white cape. He's on Amazon. No, Disney. He's on Disney. Wait, what is he on?
Same thing.
Disney, yes, Disney. They'll all be one thing eventually.
Hey, anyways, Zay?
I don't know anything about him either.
That's fair. I don't know much about him, but I do know he's basically the Batman and Deadpool mixed together in the Marvel universe.
Even though, isn't Deadpool already Marvel?
That's what I'm saying. Like they practically made their own Batman, but decided to put a little bit of Deadpool
put him in a far more practical white cape so that he can hide at night.
He is the moon that is in the night. Moon Knight. God damn it. That's so easy. But the trailer, that's what this is about.
Yes. The show has not come out yet. We are discussing the trailer.
It looks good.
It sounds like my sleep schedule. This trailer. He doesn't know when he's awake or asleep. I can so relate to that.
So when people say that this trailer doesn't feel like a Marvel movie, I kind of agree. And that, like, the biggest thing that I noticed about this trailer, and the thing that caught me off guard was like how it's like shot, the angle of the shots, how like it's presented, the cinematography.
The cinematography.
The two shots that come to mind, where it's just like well, there's a bunch of shots that come to mind. When he's falling backwards and the camera's actually following his body as he's falling, that was really cool to see. The sort of first person shaky cam like shots, the way that like certain, just like the angle where like when we see him falling out of bed, it's from a bird's eye view, and I feel like any other Marvel movie would have had it just like a flat, just like regular camera shot. And the way that like the way they like have him walk up to a building, instead of him just showing him walking up, it shows the building upside down, and then we see him step in the puddle, and then the camera zooms up and we see the building. It's just like they didn't have to do that. It was just a cool shot.
Right.
Yeah, no, I appreciate them trying new things like that. If they tried to shoot most of the Marvel movies already have the criticism of, it's like a assembly line movie process where all of them are the same but different, So the fact they're trying new things with it is a plus for me.
To me, it also, like, like the cinematography kind of looks like the Batman movie.
Yeah, wow, how about that?
Honestly, even more connection to being their universe version of Batman.
What if he was in fact a black billionaire wearing a white cape running around at night?
I will say the casting choice of this is interesting. For who they went with for Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight.
Yes. My interest in this just skyrocketed. I love Oscar Isaac. He's amazing.
I mean, yeah, Oscar Isaac, yeah, he's a badass motherfucker. Oscar Isaac.
It's just interesting.
No, it's amazing how he can go from a young-looking guy in Star Wars to an old-looking guy in Dune, or middle-aged guy in Dune, to somewhere between for this.
Also, like the elevator shot, like it has some fucking horror aspect to it. A little bit.
That old woman was creepy.
Like that shit was creepy.
Wow, God.
I hope you find it, dear.
But yeah, it looks gritty. It looks interesting for a TV series. Like it's interesting that they're like not doing a movie for it.
I have not. I don't know about you guys, but I have not watched any of the Marvel TV shows because, as I said earlier, it just hasn't interested me.
That's fair.
Book of Boba's the only one I've really watched.
Marvel.
That's my favorite Marvel series. I'm so waiting for fucking Boba Fett to show up.
I mean, they own both of them.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen at some point. I mean, you know how Disney did it with their own that House of Mouse series on their own thing.
Oh my
They're
God.
gonna do that at some point with all these.
God damn it! Now I want
do that at some point with all these franchises. It's like, yeah, we can make a new movie every year, but why do that? Or to keep our license and to keep our copyright of it? But why do that? We can just shoehorn them all into one thing.
God damn it!
That's essentially what House of Mouse was. It was just a clever way for them to keep their license without having to continuously make straight to VHS videos.
Hey, don't you talk shit about House of Mouse, all right? Not on my podcast.
Anyways, Moon Knight looks really good, and but again, I'm not interested in a lot of the Marvel series.
I just hope it is different, because how many times have we heard about like, oh, this is the most unique Marvel movie yet. It doesn't even feel like a Marvel movie, and it comes out and it's the same shit.
Yeah. That's why I like where DC is heading with its series. They just theirs actually looks interesting to get interested in, to get invested in. Like.
Yeah, and their movies actually feel unique from each other.
Imagine that.
Exactly.
Well, enough of this House of Mouse review. What's the next topic?
At the end of the day, they're all comics. Doesn't really fucking matter.
When will they start adapting doujins and stuff like that?
I don't know how to transition to this, but we're talking about video game news next. And quite possibly, I don't want to call it too early, because the year just started. But I feel like this is probably going to be the biggest gaming news of the year, of 2022. Microsoft/Xbox has decided that they are going to acquire/purchase the physical embodiment of evil, Activision-Blizzard, for $70 billion.
I didn't even know they were...
That's a lot of money.
I didn't even know they were fucking worth that much.
I mean,
know, right?
Blizzard's... One of them, I think it's Blizzard's CEO, makes like $150 million a year in his salary. It's insane. Well, and we're not even going to get into all the crimes of the video game development industry.
Oh, I do want to touch on that, but first I just want to really want to. Do you know how much money that is? $70 billion. For reference, for comparison, when Microsoft bought Mojang, the guys who own Minecraft, they bought them for $2 billion. When Microsoft bought ZeniMax, aka Bethesda, Fallout and Dune and all that, they bought them for $7 billion. They literally spent 10 times as much buying Activision than they did ZeniMax.
To be fair, Minecraft is just one entity, right? Mojang just had Minecraft. So it's one
Yeah,
entity,
like,
and Blizzard is...
and Minecraft was popular before the Microsoft deal, but it was not that worth until Microsoft came around.
And you know, hey, when Microsoft bought ZeniMax and Bethesda, when they bought them for $7 billion, everyone was just like, oh my god, that's a lot of money. Because it is a lot of money. $7 billion is a lot of money. But it looks like fucking pocket change compared to this shit.
But I mean, Activision and Blizzard own like so many massive entities.
Yeah, they're all.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're already a fucking monopoly. Are you kidding me? A monopoly buying another monopoly?
Hey, Matt, a duopoly merging to become a monopoly? Yes.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. It's insane.
But yeah, Activision Blizzard, they own fucking, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, World of Warcraft, fucking Candy Crush.
God, it's insane.
Now Master Chief can finally be in Candy Crush.
I
want to see that now. Halo Candy Crush. Let's go.
Or Grunt Crush.
All right, so I have a lot of thoughts about this acquisition, but just before I'm going to ask you guys what you think, but just overall, to give my very quick thoughts, I am cautiously optimistic about this. What about you guys?
I'm actually kind of curious how much they would have bought it for if it wasn't for all the scandals going on right now. Like, I feel like they use that to talk down the price.
That's a good point, because like I'm wondering if that ever actually played a factor, like with them being so in the news.
How much of a stake does Microsoft have in the news? Like the fact that the news focused on that so much, right, as they were trying to acquire it, seems a bit. I mean, put tinfoil hat on, but it's not implausible.
I have the answer to that question. Yes, the allegations toward Activision Blizzard did play a part in Microsoft buying them, but not in the way that you might think. Where, it turns out, when I saw this, I thought that Microsoft were just like, they saw Activision Blizzard in, for lack of a better term, a weakened state, and they were just like, get them now.
Just opportunity upon them.
Yeah, they were like a fucking lion in the jungle just watching an antelope.
He's in a weakened state.
Oh, that antelope.
Sick him.
Yeah, that antelope's got a weak leg. It can't run very fast, and just ate them up. But no, it turns out this was all Bobby Kotick, the evil, horrible scumbag Bobby Kotick's doing, because it turns out when these sexual allegations came out, he actually went around and started talking to multiple companies, trying to sell Activision Blizzard
trying to exit
them.
while the iron was hot, before it got too big.
Dude.
Yes. Because he was just like, my company's going down under because of all the shitty things I let happen. I could take responsibility for all this and actually, go down with the company, or I could sell this sinking ship to somebody else and walk away scot-free with bags of money.
More bags of money.
God.
And which honestly, we are, okay, Bobby Kotick, I'm just going to get this out really quick. Bobby Kotick, we're pretty sure, as far as we know, we've heard multiple people on the inside reporting on this, that pretty much we're sure that Bobby Kotick, once this acquisition is finalized, which should be June of next year, Bobby Kotick is out. Which...
Good.
And I know he's getting that stupid goddamn $300 million fucking bonus as he leaves.
Yeah.
Because, look, I knew...
He's basically getting a severance package.
Yeah, look, I knew Bobby Kotick was not going to pay for all the horrible shit he did, because he's rich, and rich people never get what they deserve. But at this point, Activision Blizzard is in such a horrible, just terrible state that at this point, they just need anything, any type of change. And the best thing that can happen is that Bobby Kotick is, kicked out. So I don't care how much money that motherfucker receives. And honestly, if I were a betting man, I would say that probably that $300 million he's getting, he's never even going to use it. He's going to put it in a fucking offshore account somewhere, and it's just going to sit there for eternity. So,
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick, I don't care what the fuck he does after this. I don't care where he goes. I don't care where he does. I just want him out. Just get him out.
Yeah.
That's all I want at this point.
I don't care when these fucking millionaires stay rich. Well, I kind of do. But I don't care when I just want them out because I just don't want to see their fucking face.
Well, to be fair, even before all these scandals
Yes.
came out, Blizzard was kind of going downhill to begin with. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing. Even before like all the allegations, all the shitty things they've done, they've kind of been tanking. Like World of Warcraft is never gonna fucking like truly die, but the games just keep getting worse, dude. Overwatch is a good example of that, and I know that as someone who has actually played Overwatch.
like the meme that's going around, the only thing saving Overwatch is the porn.
Oh my god. Because they just keep getting lazy and just they were a part of that whole problem with the fucking loot boxes thing. So
oh yeah, how Overwatch basically like brought that into mainstream video games, and it hasn't, and that fucking virus has not left yet.
God damn. Like at this point I'm hoping with this acquisition that Microsoft just gives it a fresh coat of paint. Just gets it.
I'm actually worried that's all it's going to
beginning.
get is a fresh coat of paint instead of a real fix.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that Activision Blizzard, they own so many of these franchises that people, even in their current state, they love, and that's the thing. I would love for Overwatch to
be more than just porn
under new rule. Under new rule, and to actually be developed by good developers.
J-Chip, I am so glad you brought that up, because I wanted to say this during this discussion. I have been very passionate and vocal about this whole Activision Blizzard scandal since it came out, and if you know me, if you've watched this podcast, you know exactly why I'm so passionate about this. Because Activision Blizzard, they have my boy, man.
Yeah.
They have my beautiful, innocent, purple boy.
Oh my god, I was about to joke about Spyro. I didn't think it'd be real.
Man.
I was about to make a joke. It's like,
God
they
damn.
got Spyro. And then it was like, oh shit.
They have so many beloved characters under their fucking wrath. Just like the mouse.
Yeah, when is the House of Mouse video game series going to come out?
Shut the fuck up. God damn it.
Okay, so talking about why I'm cautiously optimistic about this is because, you know, once Bobby Kotick gets out, or even if he stays, which god damn I hope he doesn't, it has been confirmed that once this Activision is taken over, Activision and everyone working there will now have to report to Phil Spencer, the Xbox guy.
Yeah.
And from what I have heard, from what I have read, from what I have heard from other people, from what I've seen, Phil Spencer seems like a genuinely good guy.
Everything
like
I've seen about him, he's a
being.
dude. He's such a bro.
And he's already done an interview, and I feel like he's already done an interview to the Washington Post where he talked about it, of just like, yes, fixing Activision Blizzard is our number one priority, and all I know for a fact as a businessman, all I know is that when employees aren't happy, business suffers. And I'm just like, yes,
thank God.
you. And I know,
Please spread that word around.
I know. It's a CEO. It's just words from a CEO's mouth. They lie all the time. All I'm saying is that I am cautiously optimistic. I am very hopeful that Microsoft can actually go in, just fire all the god-awful, horrible people working there, and finally, the employees at Activision Blizzard can finally work, and it can finally have a safe place to work.
And actually get properly compensated for the work would be nice too.
Yeah, and
yes.
And that's the thing. I want these I want these games that they put out to actually do well under these new conditions. Because I don't want beloved franchises to die because of these shitty scandals. I want more Spyro games.
Me too. I mean, that's why I'm hopeful about this acquisition, because I'm just like, maybe I can finally play Spyro without feeling guilty again.
Now Spyro and Banjo-Kazooie can have a crossover. Then we can both be happy.
Yes.
Wild card. I had that same thought not too long ago.
Oh my god.
Crash, Spyro, and Banjo. Let's get them all in a game together.
Hell yeah.
And you know what? Fuck it. Throw in Master Chief 2.
Oh my god, yes. And that could work, because in the second Banjo-Tooie, there's a mechanic where certain levels it basically turns into GoldenEye. So where he uses the bird like a gun. So it would be so perfect.
Oh my god.
Like it would fit so well. It would work. It would work.
Speaking of Halo's creators, Bungie, they got acquired not by Microsoft, but by Sony, of all people.
Yeah.
So Halo nowadays is developed by 343 Studios, and they've done well with it. They've done well. Halo Infinite is really good, despite all its flaws. And the Master Chief collection is really fucking good. Halo 4, debatable. I'll just say that. It's just weird though, because Bungie, I always thought that they would, if they weren't already acquired by Microsoft, that they eventually would be.
I imagine the FTC probably said no to that one. I can imagine something like that being why Sony got them.
It's just so weird. But I'm less optimistic about this, honestly, because Sony has such a stronghold on its franchises. Like, they want to make everything a fucking exclusive. Sony is the company that doesn't play well with others, like Xbox and Nintendo.
They do not.
Nintendo and Xbox, they play well with each other and others. Sony, on the other hand, they like to be fucking elitist.
Sony is the dragon on top of a pile of gold and just doesn't share it with anyone.
That's one thing I know, is that Destiny's future is gonna look good, because Destiny has become cross-platform. So I know that's gonna be fine. But like other things Bungie is known for and will continue to make, it's gonna be fucking Sony exclusive, I feel. And I don't want that. Probably.
Give me Bloodborne, damn it.
Yes, please give me Bloodborne. We're getting a fucking demake for PlayStation 1 on PC. Please just give me the real Bloodborne. Just give me Bloodborne on PC, please. That's all I ask.
Yes.
God damn it.
So I've done research into these topics, and it sounds like the reason Sony bought Bungie, it was not, as a lot of people are joking, that like, oh, this is a retaliation against Microsoft for taking Crash Bandicoot. But no, this deal has actually been in the works far longer. Like the Microsoft deal, because Bobby Kotick wanted to sell Activision off, that deal has been in development since like November. It was just like fast in terms of like acquisitions. This deal has been in the works for a while, and the reason it sounds like Sony bought Bungie is that to paraphrase, it's just like, well, we're like known for like story-driven like campaign games. We need someone who's good at multiplayer.
That's actually a good point.
Oh yeah.
Bungie's good at them. Bungie's really good at its categories. So basically, my whole thoughts is that I'm not really feeling up to it, honestly. Like, Bungie is gonna do well in what they do under Sony. It's just I don't like Sony's stronghold.
Yeah, they'll do well if Sony will let them.
Yeah, and if anything, like, I don't know. There's titles that like Sony has made over the last few years that have actually gone over to other consoles, and that's the thing with like PlayStation Studios existing, that has been able to happen. Just like an Xbox Game Studios has made Xbox games go over to Steam and Nintendo. So I'm wondering if these kind of deals can continue that trend of these studios making games for other consoles, making them cross-platform while still being under these companies so they can brag about it all they want and I can just not give a fuck.
I mean, everybody's with both of these acquisitions, everybody's been talking about how like everyone's been arguing or like speculating what games are going to be like console exclusive, which games are going to be cross-platform, which series, which franchises, and I feel like these acquisitions are like we're just speculating at this point, but like nobody really knows, and I'm not even sure if they know. I don't know if Microsoft or Sony even knows like if they're going to be like cross-platform or like console exclusive or not. I think
Right.
You know what I can't believe is that companies like Sony and Microsoft haven't done their own version of Smash Brothers.
They have.
Sony tried, but
Sony tried. PlayStation All-Stars did not end up well.
But you know what I mean, though. Like, I feel like the biggest attempt at Smash Brothers, other than Nintendo, was like that Nickelodeon SpongeBob thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So-
That's cross-platform. It's just weird that it came from fucking Nickelodeon. But speaking earlier that with the Activision-Blizzard deal, most could be about the porn coming from Overwatch. You want to talk about video game porn making it to the Italian Senate?
What does Julius Caesar and Tifa Lockhart have in common? They've both been impaled in the Italian Senate.
God damn it. Oh my god. How the fuck does this shit happen?
I don't know, but I love it.
Okay.
It is so hysterical.
boy, man, that other topic, that was really serious. Let's talk about something just funny.
Yeah.
Absolutely hysterical.
Okay. You explain. I need to like pull up an article because I want to make sure I get names right.
Yeah.
But you just
Right.
talk about like what actually happened.
So, what actually happened? Because I actually follow the fucking animator and the voice actress that are in the video that was shown in it.
Hey, chances are I probably do too. I know I followed the animator. And chances are I probably followed the actress.
And I follow them on not my main account. So, anyways, I don't know. This has happened a few times in meetings, like where like the wrong video gets played or the wrong presentation gets played. But to this degree,
Yes. So the story goes is that on Monday, January 18th, I think, Italian Senator Maria Laura Mantovani held a Zoom call with several other Italian senators, some like Italian professors, and 2021 Nobel Prize winner Giorgio Parisi. I'm sure I mispronounced his name. I'm sorry, but
it's an Italian name.
yes. But yeah, they all got together for a Zoom call. But see, about half an hour into this call, somebody played this video on the Zoom call, which I'm going to have to blur the shit out of.
I'm going to show it right here, right now.
Yes, that I'm going to have to blur the shit out of. This video of Tifa.
You can show a screenshot of it. Please don't actually show the fucking video in any form. Just show a screenshot of it covered up, please.
This video of Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII getting cloud plowed.
Plowed.
I
That's
had
awesome.
I had that prepared. I knew I was going to call it that.
God damn it.
Uh,
Fun fact, it's actually Final Fantasy's fucking anniversary this year. What are the fucking odds?
That's incredible.
yeah, so porn played in front of all these Italian senators and a Nobel Prize winner, and
And it was broadcast live too, so
Yeah.
whoever was watching.
Now the question lies. Even though that senator was embarrassed, were the other people into it?
But how did this happen, I hear you ask? Was it a hacker? A security breach? Some new Tifa-loving cyber-terrorist group? Well, no, it's actually far stupider than that.
Consider me a member.
Turns out the answer is actually far stupider than that. It turns out that the person who held this meeting, Senator Maria Mantovini, actually posted the link to the Zoom call as well as the password to get in on her Facebook page
The fuck?
2 days before the event.
Why the fuck would you ever do that as a public official?
Wow!
Why would you do that as a business person?
Why would you do that in general?
So when
Who
you
the
think
fuck does that?
So when you
But I heard it was up, it not only was it portrayed to the Italian Senate, it was up there for a while before they finally caught it.
So when you think
What the
about it from
fuck?
that perspective, that person could have shown anything they wanted. So really, we're lucky we got Tifa porn and not like something worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. It could have been hell a lot worse. It could have been something that would start a war in Italy. Like, I'm glad it was just that. But holy shit, that is entirely her fault.
Yeah, her IT department had a aneurysm after that one.
Damn, that's horrible, dude.
Unfortunately, there's no cyber terrorist group in love with Tifa. Unfortunately, we're not gonna see Tifa
we can
porn
fix that.
popping up everywhere. I'm sorry to say.
Now this has started a huge meme with Tifa loving Italy.
Yeah, her being the,
Yes, I love
her
him
being
so
the
much.
Video game
My
representative.
favorite
of
one is
Italy.
the one, aside from the Julius Caesar one, is the one where they show her coming back. I'm back from my trip to Italy. It's like she came back from a vacation.
She's the mascot of Italy now.
I know.
Take that,
that
Mario.
most recent scandals, Tifa won.
Take that, Mario.
Yeah, Tifa won a place in the Italian Senate now.
God damn it.
Let's see.
So I feel like as funny as it is, as funny as this whole situation is, I feel like we're like legally obligated to throw out the disclaimer of like, by the way, you shouldn't do this. We do not.
Yeah, we don't endorse
absolutely.
actually going in and
Do it.
ruining a fucking government meeting.
Do it. Do it now.
Unless,
Go.
unless, like, if you're gonna do it like this. Don't fucking, like,
I
post,
fully
like,
condone it.
gore shit or something that would start a fucking war.
My only request is that it's Tifa porn.
Only Tifa porn. It's only acceptable. if it's
Become the Tifa-loving terrorist group we were describing earlier. Make it happen.
Make the Italians want to do a cloud plow. God damn it.
Speaking of whatever the fuck, fair use. Anyway,
See how we fairly use Tifa.
Hey, porn actually is fair use.
Yes, it is. It's very reconstructive. And constructive in its own way.
Oh my god. Anyways, fair use. You know, we're posting this on a fucking abridging channel. Zay, do you want to explain the TotallyNotMark situation with Toei?
you were the one who brought it to my attention. I think I understand it. From what I can tell, TotallyNotMark, TotallyNotMark, is an anime reviewer / guy who talks about anime on YouTube.
Yeah, an AnyTuber.
An AnyTuber. Stuff like Dragon Ball and One Piece and, stuff like that. From what I can hear, Toei Animation, the people who own the stuff he was reviewing, hit him with about 150 copyright strikes for his videos.
Yeah.
And he tried to fight back, and he got in contact with YouTube, and YouTube told Toei that, like, hey, you need to make sure that these videos are fair use before you can strike them. And Toei was just like, Toei didn't listen, so they took down more videos. Am I correct?
Yeah. Toei went head in with they just kept doing it. And then YouTube was like, all right, we need to fucking step in.
Yes. And from what I can tell, the situation is pretty much resolved unless Toei wants to take it further, which at that point I feel like it's too much time for them to like deal with this shit. But from what I hear, it's been decided by YouTube that TotallyNotMark is now able to keep his videos up in every other country except Japan, because what YouTube decided is that his videos, even if it was found that his videos do violate copyright law in Japan, his main audience is not the Japanese-speaking world. His main audience is like the Western world. So they decided that since that's his main audience, he's still able to keep his videos up in like here in the US, in that territory. And this is a big deal.
It's a huge deal because this has sparked conversation like, why is this not a thing? Why do we have to adhere to another country's fucking copyright laws in our own fucking country? But like, it also brought up the fact that even if we had to do that, why can't we just manually geo-lock? So It started this whole conversation that like, if Mark is able to do this on YouTube's behalf, that he can broadcast outside of Japan, only broadcast to countries outside of Japan, why can't anyone else do it? So it has started this hashtag of like geolock for all or some shit like that. I don't know.
I think there's a talk about piracy being an issue.
Yeah, and that's fair. Well, the thing is, how it works with YouTube is that YouTube is just like the middleman. They can't really do anything when one files their shit that comes over here. People are like worried that like, you know, we could block our shit in their country, but would that stop the distributors? Because distributors distribute their shit all across the world. That's the thing. Right? That's the thing. We get copyrighted by fucking Toho over here at BridgeBrains. And Toho has a fucking stronghold on distributing to the US and Europe. So, like, we didn't get copyrighted by Trigger. Trigger could give less of a shit. But fucking Toho came after us because they are the distributor. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know. It's fucking... We should have a say on who our content goes out to and why these companies should not put up a fucking hissy fit. Because at the end of the day, you know, especially reviews, they're promoting this shit. They're promoting the fucking their content. So why is it an issue?
The only one I would see a legitimate issue with is the reaction channels, where they're straight up watching the video and pretending that they're
that's a whole other thing. Is that like especially with it now being on fucking Twitch, it like reaction shit. Unless it's like really cut up, and you're actually not showing the entire thing, I could give a less of a shit about that. But if you're making a full length like episode or movie or whatever reaction, that is violating copyright. That should be that should be punishable. Copyright law everywhere is such a fucking mess. And that's the thing, like copyright law hasn't been updated for so many years anywhere. Yeah. It's just a thing that exists, and they haven't actually done anything with it since its inception.
I honestly, at this point, I think we don't want it to be updated.
Yeah.
Updating it at this point probably won't update in our favor.
Like, I could understand if they have a problem with us, like, monetizing over it. That's where, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest issue that they have is, like, people profiting off of their shit.
Sure.
And I understand that to a certain degree. It's just a huge mess. But I'm so glad that YouTube, for once in their goddamn life since they've been acquired by Google, that they finally stepped in for a creator.
Yeah.
Like,
No
that's
real.
such a fucking Chad move. They're like, you know what, Toei? Fuck you. We're gonna actually listen to what this creator has to say. Like, that's such a fucking awesome move by YouTube. It probably wasn't done by Susan.
I mean, YouTube still sucks, but that was nice.
Yeah,
of them.
YouTube still fucking sucks, and I will say that gladly on YouTube.
Download the Chrome extension. Return dislikes, by the way.
yeah. Give me back my dislikes. I want Goblin Slayer to be hated in the public eye. Fun fact: the only countries that Goblin Slayer Bridge is actually copyright blocked in is the countries that like look down upon the shit that's actually presented in it, like the Catholic cities. I think that's hilarious.
I'm completely blocked in
Vatican
Denmark.
City?
Yeah, Vatican City, fucking Germany, Denmark. Oh my, Italy. God damn.
Oh man.
And that sucks.
We'll
We
have
can't
to replace it with Tifa porn.
And that sucks. We can't broadcast to our Tifa fans.
I know.
Oh!
But
We'll replace that one scene with Tifa.
Oh my god!
God damn
Oh
it.
my god! Was Brian the one who put that Tifa porn in the Italian?
oh
Senate?
my god. But anyways, I think this is a huge. It's not
Win, for sure.
It's a win. It's not a fucking like conquering. It's
It's a win. It's not a redemption, but it is a step in the right
because
direction.
there's so much left to actually fight for fair use. The fair use fight is never over, really.
Yeah.
Especially with YouTube. If anything, this has made people hate Toei even more than their shitty quality of series lately. And
I wonder if there's a connection.
And I'm sorry, Zay, but Dragon Ball Super fucking sucks lately.
I think it's fun.
Oh my god. But yeah, my opinions on their fucking series aside, this has just fucking ruined their reputation even further. And honestly, I'm here for it. Take down the fucking corporates.
Yes.
Stick it where they shouldn't. Like, they shouldn't be having their business out here like this. So, like, fuck Toei. I'm glad YouTube did the right thing. And I'm glad Mark is having a more positive situation.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's getting his shit back. And yeah, we can go forward from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended things on something that relates to us abridging for once. We're abridgers still, somewhat.
We're
But with wins like this for fair use, maybe this will put more motivation into us instead of making us depressed.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because you do not know how depressed I was after Toho fucked us over.
He really was. And I was
dude.
depressed too because I loved that show. I loved playing Susie.
And honestly,
Oh yeah.
I hope Toho is next. Fuck Toho. And if anything comes out of this podcast, hashtag geolock for all. No, don't just make it for big ass creators or this one time.
Hashtag Tifa for Italian Senate. Hashtag House of Mouse. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
I'll get you, Spider-Man. In Walmart. Go, Web. Choo, choo. I'm Spider-Man. The Goblin. Ugly dude. Hello, my dear. Spider-Man, come out and play.